How was I able to maintain my muscle mass when I had COVID? And even though I had COVID, I was extremely sick. So how was I still able to maintain my weight even though I was extremely sick, even as a hard gainer? I'm glad you asked. Last week I got COVID. With having COVID, I thought I was gonna lose like 10 pounds because I'm naturally a skinny guy with a super fast metabolism like Michael Phelps. I need 5,800 calories in order to put on weight. I'm an extremely hard gainer. This is what I did to not lose weight and to maintain my muscle mass while I had COVID, extremely sick, extremely fatigued for the week that I had COVID. Because somehow I was able to maintain everything I have right now. And it was not easy because I was asleep for roughly 14 to 16 hours a day, and sometimes with naps in between that. So at max, all added up, maximum hours of sleep I was getting were 17 hours, meaning I was only awake for 7 hours that day. So when you're in a situation like that, where you're extremely sick, you don't want to eat, and you're an extremely hard gainer, you're gonna have an insane mental battle. Not only when you're working out, but when it's time to eat. It was a really difficult mental game for me because the last thing that I wanted to do when I was extremely sick was stuff my mouth with a bunch of food. I was extremely fatigued the entire time. I just wanted to lay in bed and I just wanted to sleep. The only thing I did besides sleep was I ate and I worked out. I didn't do anything else. Well, maybe a little bit of stretching, but sometimes you gotta push past that. So this is what I did that helped me out. Other than that, I really did not do much. So let's dive into the working out part. If you don't have an at-home gym, you can do calisthenic exercises like push-ups, close arm push-ups, reverse push-ups, and the list goes on. You can just look them up on YouTube, calisthenic workouts. But if you're lucky like me, you already have an at-home gym. You have a gym in your basement, which should never give you an excuse to skip the gym because it's literally a couple feet away from you. So with that being said, I worked out for roughly 45 minutes to 60 minutes for the 4 days that I worked out of the 7 days that I had COVID. I was super weak in the gym, so what I did was my normal workout, normal sets, normal exercises, but instead of progressively overloading, I went 5 pounds down. And instead of training to failure, I trained 1 to 2 reps before failure. So I left 1 to 2 reps left in the tank. I still worked them good enough to get them fatigued. So this would be the best way to maintain your muscle gains, even if you aren't sick. I just did enough reps to make my muscles fatigued. Perfect way to maintain everything. When I wasn't doing legs, I was doing full upper body days. I trained my upper body 3 times that week and trained legs once. So instead of chest and tris for 1 hour, it was chest, back, triceps, biceps, shoulders, all in that 1 hour of that training session. So day 1 is upper, day 2, rest, day 3, upper, day 4, rest, day 5, legs, day 6, upper, day 7, rest. And then for my leg days, I trained my hamstrings, my quads, my glutes, and my calves. I did all isolation movement exercises for those because my lower back felt way too weak. It felt like if I was gonna do any kind of core bracing movement, I would just snap my back and just end up on the floor, unable to get up. That wouldn't have been fun. My back felt extremely weak, so I just chose to do isolation movements. Now for the eating. This was the worst part. And if you're new to bulking, I'm sure you agree with this. I really tried to eat my meal preps, but I just could not. I couldn't do it. It was so nasty. First time I ever gagged to my own steak that I perfected. I just threw most of it in the freezer and I was just gonna come back to it when I felt better. Instead, I resorted to smoothies. And by smoothies, I mean a lot of them. Not 1 smoothie, not 2, but 6. I have that big Ninja blender that has like, it's got the pitcher that's got like 64 ounces or something like that. Yeah, I would drink 2 of those. 2 64-ounce pitchers of smoothie every single day. So that equaled around 6 smoothies. So for the first 3 smoothies, I had my testosterone boosting smoothie, which is walnuts, pumpkin seeds, oats, bananas, yogurt, olive oil, kiwis, berries, beetroot powder, peanut butter that contains less soybean oil, spinach, honey, and Ceylon cinnamon. And yes, they'll still contain phytic acids and oxalates, I know, but I haven't found a study yet that states phytic acids and oxalates lower your testosterone levels. The only thing that I got out of it is a 200% testosterone boost. So if somebody can guide me to the study, please let me know. That'd be nice. That testosterone boosting smoothie is kind of nasty, so I only had it 3 times. But for my other smoothie, I just blended oats, Jif peanut butter, bananas, blueberries, and whole milk all together. It tastes amazing. 1,500 calories to 1,700 calories, depending on how much peanut butter you use. I like to use a lot of peanut butter in that smoothie. It's amazing. It's my favorite tasting one. I think everybody should try it. It's like a treat that you can still consider healthy. Great for bulking. So those 6 smoothies combined is around 4,000 calories. So we just need 1,200 more. I tried to eat 2 of my meal preps, but I couldn't even do that. I ended up just doing 1 meal prepped meal, and then if I felt brave, I would do the second one. But most of the time for that second meal, I was just doing a cheat meal like ice cream or pancakes. So if you are a super hard gainer like me and you have COVID and you don't want to eat, but you know you got to keep your calorie surplus on check, we know it's possible. Because I just did like 5,000 calories. It was just absolutely horrible. I hated it. I wish I never had COVID. It sucked. So other things that I did, I was still capable of drinking 1 gallon of water a day. This was the only thing that I can consider easier to do than my normal regular basis. I didn't have to worry about limiting my water for 10 hours because of work. I was simply able to sleep uninterrupted for 12 hours as long as I didn't drink water 3 hours prior to going to bed. And for supplements, I still took all of my supplements, Tonkat Ali, magnesium, zinc, creatine, all of those I still took every single day. And for stretching, I did stretching on the days that I didn't work out. I mainly stretched my lower back, so I did dead hangs, cobras, and leg overs, whatever you want to call them. The only nice thing about all of this was catching up on sleep. It was definitely harder to pull off than my normal days, where I wake up, I eat, I work out, I do homework, I film, I stretch, I mobilize, I drive 1 hour to work and back home, I work my 9 to 5, and I train calves after my 9 to 5 job, and finish off my day with 8 hours of sleep. It was a lot harder than that. It was a whole new adaptation, but if you have COVID, I think you should still get it done. It was such a mental game, but it is definitely possible.